like you cut me off. So, I explained to them it wasn't about, being afraid to jump out of the plane. It goes back more to having fear of Yahweh. Because the way I explained it to him is, look, man, I've sinned. I've had a lot of sin. We avoid sin to the best of our ability, but in this flesh, it's inevitable. We're gonna sin. So, I didn't want to give the Most High Yahweh an account or an occasion to put me to death. Basically, that's the way I look at it. So nonetheless, I didn't go. I didn't go jump out of a plane with them, but they did it. But that's what that verse reminds me of. All right, so let's read 11. It says, "And in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone." And Yahushua answering said unto him, "It is said, Thou shalt not tempt Yahweh the Most High." All right, so I was in the same spirit as Yahushua. I was like, I'm not going to tempt Yahweh. I'm not going to give Yahweh an occasion, where I'm risk taking, because my luck, mine. If I was to go do that, my parachute would be the one that doesn't fucking work, has faulty or some shit, So I ain't trying to do all that. But anyway, we don't tempt Yahweh in this truth. You don't do any there's no need to take any unnecessary risks, especially given the lot that we've been given. All right. It says in verse 13, "And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a season." All right, because temptation, it comes and goes, man. And this is how it is, There's a saying, there's even a song, it's called "Temptation Never Takes a Vacation." I think it's an older song by Levert, You older heads will know Levert, the group Levert. But anyway, they have a song called "Temptation Don't Take a Vacation." And that's just what it is, man. So, temptation, these demons, they'll go away from a season for a season, and they'll come back, So, verse 14, "And Yahushua returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee." And remember, he was fasting. He was, he was strong in the Spirit. He had just resisted the devil, Satan. So Yahushua was strong in the Spirit, So let's read. "And Yahushua returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region round about." All right. Let me see something real quick. What the heck? All right, so sometimes I'm just noticing this. Oh, no wonder. That's what it is. I had my Blue Letter Bible, and that's weird because I never switched it, but it was sent to, let me see, the LSB version, which I don't even know what version that is. So anyway, that's why it wasn't matching up. I was like, why isn't it saying the same thing here? But anyway, let's go to verse 14 in my Blue Letter. Here, I got it on my computer. And let me just look into that word fame. It says,
Strong's G 5345.
Fame. That's fame in Greek. Fame. Some of these words are still pretty close, So it goes into a fame or report, Fame and report are they go hand in hand. It's like somebody's giving a report about somebody else, so it becomes a story. It becomes famous, right? Let's keep reading. I just wanted to go into that word to see what it said. See, get a little edification, get a little deeper into the meanings. So we're on 14. It says, oh, and sorry, I'm at 15. It says, and he taught in their synagogues, being glorified of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, on the Shabbat, and stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah, which is Isaiah. Isaiah is the Greek way of saying Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written. All right. Just like us, we do these lessons. We look for what we're, the precepts we're looking for to teach. That's what Yahweh Shai was doing. He found the place where it was written, right? That's what we do. Verse 18, the Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. So let's say, the Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, all right? Because he hath anointed me, meaning he has chosen me to preach the gospel to the poor. And who are the poor? The poor are the Israelites, all right? Because they're poor in the spirit. They're poor when it comes to the understanding and the knowledge of this Bible. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives. All right, so this is this is telling you right here. This shows you right here that Yahweh Shai was teaching and preaching to the, who were the captives? Were all the Greeks captives? Were the Greek citizens, the Edomites captives? No, it was the Israelites who had been conquered, right? At this point, we were conquered, we were scattered, we were driven into all these different countries and nations, and we became captives in all these different nations that we were scattered in. So that shows you right there, it's not for everybody. He's preaching to the brokenhearted. Who was brokenhearted in that time? It's just like right now. Who's brokenhearted here in Babylon, America? It's these Israelites, these so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans at the bottom of society overall, generally speaking, living in the ghettos. Our people are in the ghetto. Who do you find in the ghettos here? You find the majority, predominantly, the ghettos are inhabited by the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so that's who Yahweh Shai was sent to teach and to preach to. You Israelites, the 12 tribes, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. All right, and is it talking about Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder? No, it's talking about you Israelites, because you're blind to the truth. You don't know the truth. That's why the Lord has set up his prophets to teach you. Verse 19, to preach the acceptable year of Yahweh. All right, and that word acceptable goes into approved. So this is the same thing we're doing, the same thing that Yahweh Shai was doing. We're teaching and preaching the approved year, or the acceptable year of Yahweh, which that's talking about the, Jacob's trouble and coming into the end times, the last days. Verse 20. And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down, and the eyes of all of them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And that's how it is with us. They look, their eyes are fastened on us, because they can't believe what we're saying. They can't believe that we're telling them that the scriptures and the truth and the promises are only reserved for the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, who are derived of the so-called black, Latino, and Native Americans. Okay? It says in verse 21, and he began to say unto them, This day is the scripture fulfilled in your ears. All right? And why is that? Because they had the teacher. The teachers were on the scene. Their eyes were fixed on the teachers the Yahweh sent or set up. All right? Let's get that real quick. Isaiah, is it 30 and 20 or 20 and 30? Let's see, 30 and 20. It says, and though Yahweh give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. All right? So that was that prophecy that was being fulfilled. One of them. Their eyes were seeing their teacher. All right? Yahweh set it up that way. Yahweh had set up, and he's also done it now in here in Babylon, America, where you have the teachers. You see your teachers. You see us on the street corners. You see your teachers on YouTube. You know, your eyes have seen thy teachers. Jeremiah 3:15. This verse comes up almost every lesson. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Okay? Got me some coffee right here, so it's like it. But let me lock this door. All right, let's keep reading. Let's go back to Luke 4. And 21 is where I stopped. But that's what I was saying. This day is the scripture fulfilled in your ears, right? And bear him witness, and wondered at the gracious words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, is not this Joseph's son? They're like, so Yahweh Shai was teaching different than the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees that were teaching them, aforetime before Yahweh Shai. Verse 23, and he said unto them, ye will surely say unto me this proverb, physician, heal thyself. Whatsoever we have heard done in Capernaum, do also here in thy country. And he said, verily, I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. All right, so then that's what it is. The prophets, the true prophets of the Lord we're not accepted in our own countries, in our own families, in our own neighborhoods, because the majority, the masses, if you will, they all deceived. They all been taught lies. So when the true prophet comes on the scene, just like Yahweh Shai, when he came on the scene, why do you think they ended up killing Yahweh Shai? Because he wasn't accepted. And it's the same thing for us, We're not going to be accepted, That's the prophets with experience. They know this good and well. This is not a lesson for if you've been in this truth, 2 to 3 years plus, If you're new, then yeah, you can hear this. But if you're a seasoned prophet, a seasoned veteran, like they say, then that I'm just preaching to the choir, But let's grab this in John 15 and 20, it says, because we're not, Yahweh Shai wasn't accepted, so what makes us think we'd be accepted by this world? It says in John 15 and 20, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. All right? Oh, it's lucky. I woke up early today, so I'm a little bit over here yawning, and I apologize. But so that's what it is, man. The prophets on the street corners right now, we're not greater than Yahweh Shai. So if he was persecuted, you better believe that you're going to get persecuted also for this knowledge and for this truth. You're not going to be accepted, you know. You're supposed to rejoice in that. You're supposed to be glad that you're not accepted, because you're in good company. You see. Let's see. Let me see. You know, you're basically, like I said, you're in good company, you know. If you're a true prophet, you won't be discouraged by that, by not being accepted, by constantly being rejected. We're supposed to be rejected. We're supposed to be, you know, hated. Luke 6 and 26, it says, "Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets." You see that? So if they speak well of you, then that's a bad sign. That means you're probably a false prophet. You know? So remember, we're in good company when we're being rejected and mocked and ridiculed and you know, thrown out of the synagogues. That's what's supposed to happen to the true prophet. Because your doctrine, which is not our doctrine, but it's Yahweh's doctrine, you know, it's contrary to their lives. It's contrary to what they've been taught. So, you know what I'm saying? You're you're in good company, man. If you get rejected, if you preach the true doctrine, you expect to be rejected. Verse 25. I'll read 24 again. It says, "And he said, Verily I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. But I tell you of a truth, many widows were in Israel in the days of Elias," and that's talking about Elijah, "when the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when great famine was throughout the land." Right, so the majority of those people, you know, like it says, many widows were in Israel. But did the Most High help out or aid all the widows that were in Israel in that day, in the days of Elijah? No, he sent Elijah to a specific widow. All right, and let me see what her name was. Zarephath, that was her name. She had a son, and her son died. And Elijah the prophet, he basically, he brought her son back to life, but also she was, the Lord had commanded her in the spirit, and they sojourned together, meaning he stayed with her for a temporarily. He stayed with the widow Zarephath, right? Zarephath was her name. So Yahweh Shai saying, look, there was all kind of widows in Israel in that day, but guess what? The only one that basically was helped during that time of famine was this woman named Zarephath. And he doesn't say her name in this verse, but let's read it. Well, let me see. When the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when great famine was throughout all the land, but unto none of them was Elias sent, or Elijah, save unto Sarepta, a city of Sidon, unto a woman that was a widow. All right, and that widow is that lady I was telling you, Zarephath. And like I say, Yahushua was basically cutting them. Because he says that the prophets aren't accepted in his own country. But guess what? A lot of you people are going to be, you're not going to be spared when trouble comes, when evil times come, Verse 27, and many lepers were in Israel in the time of Eliseus the prophet, and none of them was cleansed, saving Naaman the Syrian. And all they in the synagogue, when they heard these sayings, were filled with wrath. Right, because they were cut in their spirit. They're like, what's he talking about? I'm over here in the synagogue. I'm righteous. That's how their thought was, their mindset. Just like these people in the church now, they think they're righteous. They don't like the message of the true prophets. If we were to go into one of these Catholic churches or one of these Christian pagan churches, man, this would be the same sentiment. These people would be pissed off at us. Verse 29, and rose up and thrust him out of the city and led him unto the brow of the hill whereon their city was built, that they might cast him down headlong. They wanted to kill Yahushua, man. And that's the same sentiment they're going to have toward us, Persecution is coming. All right? Look at you already see ever since Donald Trump become president, Jacob's trouble is starting to ramp up, You have the Israelites being persecuted, what they call the illegal aliens. They're going after, there's some Levites. There was a dude on the news, Haitian, a.k.a. Levi, right? He's from the tribe of Levi. But they were there was a big story on the news, and it's all propaganda, but they specifically singled out this one guy who, he was deemed a gangster from Haiti, which those are the Levites. And, he was saying, I'm not going back to Haiti. F Donald Trump, So you got Esau. Esau Edom. He's coming against the Israelites to this day. He's also deporting Issachar in bunches. Issachar is the so-called Mexicans. So Jacob's trouble is getting ready to ramp up, man. It's picking up. It's gaining some momentum. You see. It says, but he, passing through the midst of them, went his way. So Yahushua, even though they were trying to kill him, he walked right through them and went on his own way. Verse 31, and came down to Capernaum, a city of Galilee, and taught them on the Sabbath days, on the Shabbat. And they were astonished at his doctrine, for his word was with power. And I went into this the other day. They're astonished at our doctrine. They're not astonished at the Christian doctrine, the pagan Christian doctrine, or any of these other churches. Their message, their truth, their doctrine, their so-called truth. It's not astonishing. It don't surprise nobody. There's no power in those churches. It's all a bunch of witchcraft and sorcery and lies. Okay. It says, and in the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil, and cried out with a loud voice, saying, let us alone. What have we to do with thee, thou Yahushua of Nazareth? Art thou come to destroy us? I know thee who thou art, the Holy One of the Most High. So you see these demons, these people with these badass demons on them, these unclean spirits. They're more in tune with they actually know. They knew Yahushua. They know the prophets. If there's some heavy demons on people, those people are going to be, because they're actually ramped up in the spirit, even whether it's the it's the left hand side, They got wicked spirits on them, wicked demons on them. Those people like that, they have a more grasp on who the prophets are and who Yahweh Shai is, because the people who are so-called normal, the ones that you think they don't have demons on them, they stumble at the prophets. But the fucking demons, the people that are demon infested, heavy demons on them, they know who we are, just like they knew who Yahweh Shai was, right? Watch, let me get this other verse that supports this, what we're talking about here. This is in Acts 19. It says, verse 15. It says, verse 15, Acts 19 and 15. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahweh Shai I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? And the man whom the evil spirit was leaped on them, and overcame them, and prevailed against them, so that they fled out the house naked and wounded. You see? So the point being that the evil spirits, the men who and women who have evil spirits on them, they're more in tune with their spirituality, even though it's wicked on the left-hand side. They don't stumble on the prophets. They know the power of the prophets. But it's you normal people, you so-called normal people, you people who you think you're righteous, or you people who think you don't have no demons on you. You are the ones who are arrogant and prideful, and you're the ones who don't know who the prophets are. I was at camp, this is probably 4 years ago, and it happened to be Elder Malcolm was at the camp with us, and there was this demon, this dirty ass lady, Edomite. She ran up on the camp and was talking shit to all of us, and Elder Malcolm from Chicago was there, and lo and behold, this demon, she called me by my father's name, right? And my father didn't even raise me in the world, but she called me by his name, and I bumped Elder Malcolm, and I was like, yo, that lady just called me by my real dad's name. And then Elder Malcolm started, to speak on this, what we're talking about now, about the evil spirits jumping on these people, I remember Elder Malcolm, he was like, how in the world would that woman, known this man's name? If she wasn't a true demon, that wasn't a real demon, because literally that lady, she pointed at me and called me by my dad's real name. It's an older video. If you see a video with GMS Denver and Elder Malcolm was with us, that was the day it happened, So these demons, they know who we are, man. It's the common person that fucking stumbles at the prophets. These people with heavy ass demon infested bodies, they know who we are. Let me go back to Luke 4 and 35. And it says, and Yahushua rebuked him, saying, hold thy peace and come out of him. And when the devil had thrown him in the midst, he came out of him and hurt him not. And they were all amazed and spake among themselves, saying, what a word is this? For with authority and power he commandeth the unclean spirits, and they come out. And that's power that we have, brothers in this ministry. We can rebuke demons and spirits, wicked spirits and demons, through the names of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. This is the brothers, we always talk about, we can't wait to get our spiritual powers. But, brothers got to be reminded, hey, we already have spiritual power. All right? It's not in the form that it's going to be. We're on a low level right now. Well, I won't say a low level, but it's going to be more increased. Our spiritual powers are going to be more increased, in the days to come, Lord willing. Lord willing, I'm of that number. Let's see. Verse 37. And the fame of him went out in every place of the country round about. Right, and the report. That word fame goes into report. So that's what it is, But I'm going to go ahead and close out right there. I hope the lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, or Ka, Kudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, one I acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect. Shalom.